They pray in secret, worship a divine trinity unknown to Islam, and believe God once walked the earth in the form of Ali. Branded as heretics by both Sunnis and Shiites and persecuted for centuries, yet they raised up to rule with absolute control for more than 50 years. Who are the Nusayris, more commonly known today as the Alawites? A sect so secretive, even many of their own followers don't know the full truth. This is the untold story of one of the most mysterious and controversial religious groups in the Middle East. Their origin traces back to the 9th century in the Iraqi city of Kufa. Here, a man named Muhammad ibn Nusayr al-Numayri laid the foundations of a unique faith. A follower of the 12 Shia Imams, he declared himself the spiritual gate to Imam Hassan al-Askari, the 11th Imam of Shia. He began spreading esoteric teachings that deviated from mainstream Islam and even mainstream Shia doctrine. His followers, known as the Nusayris, carried forward teachings influenced by heretic predecessors like Abdullah ibn Sabah and Bayan ibn Sam'an, who believed in the divine incarnation of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. After Ibn Nusayr's death in 883 Common Era, his movement was led by his successors like Muhammad ibn Jundab and later Muhammad al-Junbulani. Junbulani actively propagated the teachings and trained his disciples. While spreading his teachings, Junbulani met Hamdan al-Kasibi in Egypt. Following their meeting, Kasibi joined the Junbulaniya order. Later, Kasibi relocated to Iraq, where he was mentored by Junbulani. After Junbulani's death, Hamdan al-Kasibi became the leader of the Nusayri sect. He is seen as the sect's second founder because it grew and became more well-known during his time. Kasibi first moved to Baghdad, then settled in Aleppo, where he continued teaching. Aleppo was ruled by Saif ad-Dawla, who supported him. Saif ad-Dawla is the founder of the Aleppo branch of the Hamdanis. Many of Kasibi's students later became leaders under powerful dynasties like Buwayhids, Hamdanis, and Fatimids, with the Hamdanis being the most important backers of the Nusayris. Sayyid Muhammad ibn Ali al-Jili succeeded Kasibi, who managed the sect from Aleppo. After the death of Sayyid al-Jili, the sect was relocated to Latakia, where Abu Sa'id al-Maymun ibn Qasim al-Tarabani assumed leadership of the sect. During this period, the mountainous region surrounding Latakia became a stronghold for the Nusayris and has since been referred to as the Nusayri Mountains. The Nusayri presence in the Baghdad region came to an end with the Mongolian invasion in the year 1258 CE. They also faced punishment under Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi for their support of the Crusaders. During the Mamluk dynasty, they supported Mongol invaders. Due to their treachery and their heretical beliefs, Mamluks invaded the Nusayri lands. Mamluks mandated the construction of mosques in Nusayri villages, seeking to impose Sunni practices upon them. New entry into the Nusayri sect was strictly forbidden, and the Nusayris were prohibited from consuming wine or using it in their rituals. Additionally, high taxes were imposed upon them. The first fatwa targeting the Nusayris was issued in the year 1317 Common Era by Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. In this decree, Ibn Taymiyyah labeled the Nusayris as deviants and non-Muslims who harmed the Islamic faith. We will discuss their beliefs in detail in the later part of this video. After Sultan Selim I conquered Syria, Palestine and Egypt in the year 1516 Common Era, the Nusayris came under Ottoman rule. Just like under the Mamluks, they continued to face political pressure. The Mufti of Syria, Nu al-Hanafi al-Dimashqi, issued a fatwa against the Nusayris, similar to the one by Ibn Taymiyyah. The Nusayris were burdened with high taxes and continued to suffer both religious and financial pressures. Many were forced to leave their homes and flee to the Nusayri mountains between Tripoli and Antioch. In fact, their community in Aleppo was almost wiped out due to their migration. Remember, there is no evidence that Nusayris were killed by either the Mamluks or the Ottoman Empire. There were three types of pressure put upon them by the Sunni rulers. The first one was political, in which their leaders and followers were not allowed in any government or authority position. Second, the pressure was religious, as they were declared heretics by the Sunni imams and muftis. The third pressure was financial, through heavy tax burdens. Other than this, they were never killed or hunted down by the Sunni rulers. The Nusayris, feeling oppressed by restrictions and taxes, sometimes rebelled, but the Ottoman government responded with force, quickly crushing these uprisings and maintaining control over the Nusayri community. However, By the mid-1800s, the Ottomans began easing their strict policies, giving the Nusayris some relief after years of hardship. During the reign of Abdulhamid II, the Ottoman Empire became weaker, and foreign powers tried to divide its diverse communities. In response, the Ottoman government took steps to maintain unity. One of these measures was to encourage groups like the Druze, Yazidis, and Nusayris to convert to Sunni Islam and provide land ownership as an incentive to revert. They lifted the jizya tax on these groups, built mosques and schools in their villages, and allowed them to join the military, hoping to integrate them into Ottoman society. Though some Nusayris were thought to have become Sunni Muslims just to get certain benefits, many Sunni landlords didn't believe these conversions were real, which caused tension between the two groups. These tensions sometimes led to conflicts, especially during religious ceremonies, which the Ottoman authorities had to intervene in to keep the peace. After the First World War, the French invaded Syria and took control of the state administration. They divided the region into several states: Aleppo, Damascus, Jabal Druze, the Alawite state, and Greater Lebanon. During this time, the Nusayris were first called Arab Alawites, and the Latakia region was officially designated as an Alawite area. In 1922, the Alawite state was created, but in 1939, it became part of Syria as a province. This period marked the first official recognition of the Nusayris, allowing them to live without the harsh restrictions they had faced before. The French strategy of arming and training minority groups brought a major change for the Nusayris. Many joined the French Special Troops of the Levant, a military unit where they made up half of the forces. This gave them valuable military training and a deeper understanding of the military system. Alongside military training, the Nusayris had access to French education, which followed a Western curriculum. Some were even sent to Europe to study. This exposure to education, particularly in military and academic institutions, helped create an educated Nusayri elite, army officers, and middle class, marking a significant shift in their social and cultural development. In 1942, the Alawite state, established under French rule, was merged into the Syrian state. Following their integration, they began to occupy various administrative positions within the Syrian government and played a significant role in the formation of the Socialist Ba'ath Party. By 1946, Syria gained independence from France. However, the country faced serious economic problems as powerful landlord tribes still held influence and the wealthy elite controlled the government. Despite independence, Syria remained politically fragmented and impoverished. In the years leading up to and following Syria's independence, the Ba'ath Party emerged as a powerful voice for Arab nationalism. It called for unity among Arab people based on shared culture, language, and history, regardless of religion. In 1947, it officially held its first Congress. Influential figures like Michel Aflaq, a Christian, Salahuddin al-Bittar, a Sunni, and Zeki al-Arsuzi, a Nusayri, played key roles in its formation. During this time, the Ba'ath Party became a real political force. The party was highly organized. Its structure included cells, groups, sections, branches, regional commands, and a national congress. This layered system showed that, alongside its public work, the Ba'ath Party also operated in secret, consolidating its power behind the scenes. Shukri al-Quwatli was elected as the first president of independent Syria. However, his presidency was abruptly ended in 1949 when he was toppled by a military coup and he went to Egypt in exile. Following Quwatli's downfall, the Ba'ath Party began gaining ground. In the 1954 election, the Ba'ath Party was the second largest party in the parliament, where Shukri al-Quwatli was re-elected as president. In 1957, the United Arab Republic was formed, following an agreement between Syria and Egypt to unite. However, the union did not function as envisioned. Meanwhile, a secret group of military officers within the Syrian army, figures like Salah Jadid, Hafiz al-Assad, Muhammad Umran, all three of them Nusayris, and Humad Ubaid, a Druze officer, were quietly planning to take control and push for reforms. In 1961, some conservative Sunni officers in Damascus, led by Abdul Karim al-Nahlawi, staged a coup that pulled Syria out of the United Arab Republic. This marked a major turning point for the Ba'ath Party. The breakup of the union caused deep divisions within the party. Once champions of pan-Arab unity, Ba'ath leaders began to redirect their focus on Arab nationalism within Syria. After the 1961 coup, Syria remained unstable, with power struggles and military coups continuing. In March 1963, Ba'athist military officers launched another coup and took control of the government. The three Nusayri officers took top authorities. Hafiz al-Assad became the commander of the Syrian Air Force. Salah Jadid, also a Nusayri, was appointed chief of staff of the Syrian army. Muhammad Umran took charge as a senior military commander. With their rise, the Nusayris began gaining real influence within the military and government. That same year, the Ba'ath Party held its 6th Congress in Damascus. Here, the party moved further toward Marxist ideology, something that didn't sit well with many majority Sunnis. In response, the Muslim Brotherhood launched an uprising in the city of Hama, opposing the party's Marxist direction. The Syrian regime responded with force, crushing the revolt. To calm growing unrest, Salah Bitar, a Sunni Muslim, was appointed as the prime minister in 1964 and began a campaign against Michel Aflaq, the party's founding ideologue. As a symbolic gesture, the word Islam was added to the new Syrian constitution. Eventually, at the 8th National Congress, Michel Aflaq stepped down as party leader, marking a turning point in the Ba'ath Party's ideological and political evolution. In 1966, another coup rocked Syria, this time led by Hafiz al-Assad. The coup forced Michel Aflaq into exile, and a new chapter began in Syrian politics. Following his rise to power, Assad gradually placed fellow Nusayris into influential roles, especially within the military and intelligence services. Over time, Nusayri influence became stronger within the government. To balance this growing influence and ease Sunni concerns, Assad also appointed members of the secular Sunni elite to some cabinet positions, carefully managing alliances to maintain control. Nureddin al-Atassi, a Sunni, was appointed to form the government. Hafiz al-Assad took on the powerful roles of defense minister and commander of the Air Force. This event marked a major turning point, the rise of the Nusayris to political dominance, and the start of what became known as the Neo-Ba'athist era. But Syria soon faced a serious setback. After losing the war with Israel, Assad said the people have lost trust in the government. He used this moment to quietly take control through a bloodless coup. Ahmed al-Khatib was named president only on paper. The real power was with Assad. In 1971, Hafiz al-Assad formally became president after winning a national referendum. In 1973, Hafiz al-Assad made a bold move. He removed the word Islam from Syria's constitution. This marked another step away from religious identity and toward a more secular, state-centered ideology. In 1982, trouble erupted in Hama. The Muslim Brotherhood launched an uprising against Assad's regime. What followed was one of the most brutal crackdowns in modern Middle Eastern history. Syrian forces crushed the rebellion using air force and tanks, killing around 40,000 Sunni Muslims. Just 2 years later, internal tensions rose again, this time within Assad's own family. In 1984, his brother Rifat al-Assad attempted a coup. The move failed, and Rifat was forced into exile, ending the power struggle. In the year 2000, after Hafiz al-Assad passed away, his son Bashar al-Assad took over as president of Syria. Bashar, like his father, continued the policy of oppression and exclusion, especially targeting Sunni Muslims. Only a few secular elites, those who remained loyal to the regime, were allowed to hold influence or wealth. During both Hafiz and Bashar's rule, practicing Muslims were often viewed with suspicion. People who regularly went to mosques, mainly young men attending Fajr prayer, were monitored, arrested, or placed under surveillance. Faith itself became a reason for fear under the Assad regime. 10 years later, in 2011, the Arab Spring reached the Middle East. As uprisings began in Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia, Syria also witnessed the start of protests against the government. It all began in the city of Daraa, where protesters demanded democracy, freedom, and reform. But the regime responded with force. Harsh military crackdowns quickly turned peaceful protests into a brutal war. This was the beginning of the Syrian civil war. From 2011 to 2024, Syria has witnessed over 13 years of ruthless killing and displacement by Bashar, along with Iran and Russia. An estimated 600,000 Sunni Muslims were killed. In Bashar's prisons, thousands of women were systematically raped, and many more faced years of unimaginable abuse. Nearly 8 million Syrians became refugees, fleeing to countries across the world. Many thousands were imprisoned, enduring torture and captivity for over a decade. Finally, by the will of Allah, in December 2024, the Sunni rebel forces, led by Hayat Tahrir Asham and supported by Turkey, achieved a major victory. They successfully ended the 60 years of Nusayri domination in Syria. A power that once ruled Syria with force and fear was brought down, humiliated in this world, and what awaits them in the next is with Allah. With the fall of their political influence, we now turn to the beliefs and theology of the Nusayri sect to understand how their doctrines differ from mainstream Sunni Islam. Muhammad ibn Nusayr, the founder of the Nusayri sect, claimed to be the Bab, or spiritual gateway, to the 11th Imam of Shia. This controversial claim led both Sunni scholars and 12er Shia scholars to reject his teachings. They labeled him and his followers as gulat, meaning extremists, disbelievers, and secretive, with esoteric teachings that deviated from mainstream Islam. Though some see them as a branch of 12er Shi'ism, in reality, they follow an independent religion. Their faith is a mixture of extreme Shia ideas, medieval pagan traditions, Gnostic influences, and even Christian beliefs. Nusayris do not follow the 5 pillars of Islam. Instead of gathering in mosques, they hold their religious rituals in private homes. Their festivals include celebrations from both Persian and Christian traditions. They also have a ceremony that resembles the Christian Mass, and their belief in God as a Trinity is similar to the Christian concept, which further sets them apart from Islamic teachings. The Nusayris follow 2 main books. The first is the Quran al-Karim, the same Quran accepted by all Muslims. However, Nusayris believe the Quran has 2 layers of message, an outer general layer for the general public, and a hidden message that only a select few can understand. They also hold the view that the Quran has been altered over time, and because of this, its true message has been lost. The second holy book of the Nusayris is the Kitab al-Majmu', written by Hamdan al-Khasibi, the reviver of Nusayris who came from Egypt. We talked about him earlier. This text is considered the core of their beliefs, which is used to train their followers in both religious understanding and ritual practices. The Nusayri declaration of faith, or Shahada, is very different from mainstream Islam. It goes like this: I witness that there is no God but Ali ibn Abi Talib. There is no veil but Muhammad al-Mahmud. There is no gate but Salman al-Farsi. This reflects their core theology known as the Mana, Isim, Bab belief system, translated as essence, name, and gate. In this system, Mana represents God himself, Isim is the prophet, and Bab is the spiritual gateway, a guide who helps interpret divine truth. They believe that God reveals himself in different eras, known as Qutba, and in each of these eras, the trio of Mana, Isim, and Bab appear together. In their view, Ali is the final and ultimate manifestation of God. Nusayri teachings are highly secretive. These beliefs are not shared openly, even within their own community. As a result, many Nusayris grow up without fully understanding the deeper aspects of their own faith. They also believe that God reincarnated 6 times, taking human form in each era. And in the 7th and final incarnation, he appeared as Ali during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the Kitab al-Majmu', the Nusayri sect's main religious text, there's a chapter known as the Chapter of Genesis. It presents a creation story that significantly departs from Islamic teachings. According to this belief, Ali ibn Abi Talib is seen as the divine source of all existence. It is said that Ali created the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam created Salman al-Farsi, and through Salman, the 5 noble items or incomparables were brought into existence. These 5 items are spiritual beings, each responsible for a different aspect of the universe. They are Miqdad ibn Aswad, who governs nature, Abdullah ibn Rawaha, who governs all living beings, Uthman ibn Mazun, who oversees sustenance, Abu Dar al-Ghifari, who commands the stars and celestial bodies, Kambar ibn Kadan, who oversees illness. Together, these 5 figures are believed to have shaped the world under the divine hierarchy, starting with Ali. This layered cosmology is central to Nusayri theology and illustrates their belief in a spiritual chain of creation, very different from mainstream Islamic teachings. In the Nusayri faith, mystery plays an essential role, as much of their belief system is hidden and reserved only for the chosen. At the heart of this mystery are 3 letters that form the core of their beliefs. Ayn representing Ali ibn Abi Talib, Mim representing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sin representing Salman al-Farsi. These 3 letters symbolize the foundational figures of the Nusayri faith. According to their beliefs, each of these individuals holds a profound divine significance in the cosmic order. The Nusayri faith is also tied closely to a specific family lineage. Only those born into a Nusayriya family can be inducted into the sect. This practice means that the religious teachings, rituals, and knowledge are passed down within this exclusive group. Furthermore, their esoteric practices are carried out exclusively by men. Women are strictly forbidden from participating in these rituals, and the sacred teachings are never revealed to them. Some Nusayris even hold the belief that women do not have souls, and in an attempt to avoid associating femininity with divinity, they refer to Fatima bint Muhammad not by her common name, but as Fatir. This belief system, rooted in mystery and exclusivity, sets the Nusayri sect apart from other Islamic communities. In the Nusayri faith, reincarnation is a fundamental belief. According to Nusayri teachings, people are reincarnated based on their actions in past lives. The world is seen as a place of tests where individuals face different challenges and experiences across multiple lifetimes. The idea is that for justice to be served, people must be given the opportunity to experience various social positions and conditions. For example, someone who suffered from poverty in a past life may be reincarnated as a wealthy individual to face the challenge of wealth. Similarly, someone born with a physical disability might be reborn as a healthy person, providing them with the chance to experience life without illness. This cycle of reincarnation ensures that each person is given the chance to face different aspects of life and be tested, promoting fairness and balance. Those who have committed serious sins are believed to be reincarnated 7 times in animal form. This cycle continues until the Day of Judgment. For the Nusayris, this process is part of their spiritual cleansing. Additionally, a key belief in the Nusayri faith is the acceptance of Ali as a divine figure. Those who reject Ali's divinity are believed to be reincarnated as animals, such as horses or donkeys, until they accept him as God. For the Nusayris, certain Islamic rituals like Salah, Zakah, and fasting are only required for those who are unaware of the secrets of absolute truth. Those who are enlightened about these secrets are exempt from these practices. When it comes to pilgrimage, the Nusayris do not travel to Makkah like other Muslims. Instead, they go to the tombs and mausoleums of their sheikhs and elders. This pilgrimage takes place in April, with the sites typically painted white. While they recognize Ramadan as a holy month similar to other Muslims, but they don't fast, they associate each day of the month with important figures from their beliefs. In terms of zakah, it is seen as a form of support to the leadership of their community, where the wealth from the rich is given to the sheikhs. The Nusayris do not have mosques. Instead, they gather in private homes for their religious practices. When performing prayer rituals, they face towards the sun rather than the Kaaba. In the annals of Islamic scholarship, few voices were as firm and uncompromising as that of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. In one of his most direct fatwas, he addressed the Nusayri sect, issuing a strong condemnation of their beliefs and practices. According to Ibn Taymiyyah, the Nusayris and other groups, such as the Karamita and Batiniya, were not only outside the fold of Islam, but were, in his words, greater disbelievers than the Jews, Christians, and polytheists. He asserted that their danger to the Muslim community surpassed even that of the open enemies of Islam, such as the invading Tatars and European crusaders. He explained that the Nusayris deceive normal Muslims by posing as lovers and defenders of Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But in reality, he said, they reject the very foundations of Islam, denying Allah, His Messenger, His Book, and even the concepts of paradise, hellfire, reward, and punishment. They interpret the Quran and Hadith not through the accepted teachings of Islamic scholarship, but through esoteric interpretations, what they call ilm al-batin, or hidden knowledge. Ibn Taymiyyah warned that such reinterpretations serve only to strip Islam of its rulings, beliefs, and core truths. According to the Fatwa, the Nusayris claim that Islamic practices have secret meanings. The 5 daily prayers represent secret knowledge, fasting means hiding their secrets, and the pilgrimage is merely visiting their sheikhs. They also twist verses of the Quran, such as saying the hands of Abu Lahab refer to Abu Bakr and Umar. Ibn Taymiyyah noted, Islamic scholars throughout history have exposed the Nusayri creed in detail, declaring it not just deviant, but fundamentally atheistic and heretical, worse than even idol-worshipping Brahmins of India. He emphasized that historically, the Nusayris were often aligned with external enemies of Islam. He pointed out that Christian crusaders gained control of the Syrian coast with Nusayri support. Their celebrations, he said, are often tied to Muslim defeats, while their greatest misfortunes, in their view, were the Muslim victories over the Tatars and Christian invaders. For Ibn Taymiyyah, the Nusayri ideology represented not a branch of Islam, but a corrupt and dangerous belief system that had constantly aligned itself against the Muslim Ummah. As we come to the end of this journey through the history and creed of the Nusayri sect, we are left with a story marked by secrecy, power, and deep ideological deviation. Historically, their journey from a persecuted minority to the ruling elite of Syria under the Assad regime was shaped by French support, decades of military coups, political manipulation, and sectarian dominance. From the massacres in Hama to the crackdowns during the peaceful protests, the Assad's regime left a dark legacy of violence and suffering. And yet, the tide of history began to shift. After ruling for over 50 years, Assad's regime finally collapsed by the will of Allah, defeated by Sunni rebels with support from Turkey. It marked a dramatic end to the Nusayri political stronghold in Syria. Their chapter in the corridors of power may have closed, but the legacy of their beliefs and the pain inflicted under their rule remains a cautionary tale. In the end, the story of the Nusayris is not just about theology or politics. It's a story about how hidden beliefs can shape nations, how power can shield even the most unorthodox ideologies, and how eventually truth finds its way to light by the will of Allah.